Hello everyone, Jamarcus here, and I'm here with week 3 of the SPDA Master Ball tier. We're faced off against Frozone, who's actually helped me mock for a recent battle, so that's how I know him. As for this matchup, honestly I really like my matchup. I think Iron Moth looks fantastic, except for Rhyperior. Um, their fire resists aren't really great, and besides um, Raging Bolt, who I think I can handle. And otherwise, like, this thing just is fantastic. It does have two Pokemon to speed tie though, which is tough. Otherwise, I actually think Typhlosion Hisui looks great here. Their only Shadow Ball resist is the dog, and I don't think it's showing up, to be honest. So Shadow Ball is a pretty free click. Same thing with Kyurem. Freeze Dry, their only resists are these Steel types, and they don't want to take a Specs Freeze Dry, to be honest. Then Ice Beam as well is just very strong into this team. There's actually no reason to click Freeze Dry, really. Ice Beam does a lot to Ogerpon anyways. Unless like Terra Water, Rhyperior, which I do think is showing up. I think Rhyperior is fantastic here. Let's take a look at the team I brought. First up, Modest Specs Kyurem. I'm only running enough speed for, um, I keep forgetting this Pokemon's name. Raging Bolt. I don't think the dog's coming, so I can run. Not much speed. Modest Specs, does a lot of damage. Ice Beam, Freeze Dry are the main moves. I do have Draco just in case this thing doesn't show up, which I think it's going to for Roaring Moon. And then Earth Power is there. I'm not really clicking that ever, but it's there. Iron Moth, this is my win con. Max speed to speed tie these two. And then max special attack. I'm getting booster special attack here. I have agility. I don't have to click it. It's just there in case one of these, like Gengar reveals Scarf or Ogerpon has a Trailblaze boost or something. And I have a sub up. I don't know. Or to speed Talonflame. But Fiery Dance plus Sludge Wave, just dual stab. I think it's strong enough. It's kind of walled by Rhyperior, but it's fantastic into everything else. So if I can force Rhyperior to Terra, which I think I can, or it dies early, I think Iron Moth is a great win con. Next is just a support Screamtail set, Citrus Berry to heal myself up, enough speed to outspeed Gengar. It's my rocker this week. Just Encore, Psychic, and Roar. Psychic's pretty much just there for Gengar and Weezing. And then Encore is just nice if things start setting up. Same thing with Roar. Typhlosion Hisui, this is my dedicated lead. Same speed as on um, Kira, just enough for Raging Bolt. If for some reason they're Scarf, it also outspeeds the rest of their team. Max Special Attack, Modest, Shadow Ball does a lot of damage to the whole team. I have Wisp on there, but I'm pretty much just clicking Shadow Ball. Terra Blast Grass in case Rhyperior for some reason doesn't Terra in front of me. Next up is a Conch, a weird Conch set. It's Flamor with Defog. Admittedly, not a great set. It's just this team's really weak to Stealth Rocks, and I think Rhyperior is getting Stealth Rocks up, or like Fortress, Mew, or Cobalion. So I need to bring Defog this week. Max Spadef, maybe live a hit from Raging Bolt, and then just typical moves on Conkeldurr. Last up, boring booster attack, Dragon Dance, Roaring Moon. This is kind of my bait to get Weezing in, which hopefully I can set up Iron Moth with and win the game. So that's the team I brought. Screamtail set, not great to be honest. Same thing with Conch. Otherwise, I think it's pretty good. I think I got the matchup. What do I expect to see? Probably top 3 for sure. I think Rhyperior is coming for sure. And then probably a Steel type and then one of Gengar or Mew. What do we see? We see Gengar and Mew. We don't see any Steel types, but otherwise, yeah, pretty much what I expected. So off lead, I'm always leading Typhlosion. I was expecting Rhyperior lead, and I do get it. I debated a lot clicking Terra Blast Grass here. If they are just max HP, Shadow Ball will 2-hit KO, including leftovers, which I see. If they're Spadef, it will 3-hit KO. Um, any Terra, doesn't matter. If I Terra Blast Grass, it will 2-hit KO, assuming they're Terra Water, which I think they are, and if they're Terra Fairy, it will 3-hit KO. So I'm hoping they're just max HP, max attack. If I Terra Grass, I'll live any hit unless they predict me and go for Mega Horn. I'll live a Stone Edge unless they crit. And I'll 2-hit KO them with Shadow Ball. That's what I'm hoping for here. I Terra Grass to avoid the Earthquake. They Terra Water. And I do 37, so they're pretty much max def. And they get up their rocks. I can defog these away, that's fine. I think I have a lot of opportunities to defog this game. So there's not really a huge rush at getting them off right now. I just do want to get them off before I get Kiram in to start breaking. So the correct play is to just click Shadow Ball again. They can't kill me. I 2-hit KO them usually. 37 plus 37 is 74. After leftovers, this thing is not even hitting 70. So Shadow Ball should be 2-hit KOing, especially if I get a SPDA drop. So I should just click Shadow Ball here. Oh, sorry, they're at 69 now, so they would have been 75. So yeah, it would have been a roll maybe, but I would have gotten them very low. Instead, I switch into Conkeldurr on the Stone Edge, so I resist that, nice, but I do get crit. I still live another attack from this, and I want to defog, but I expertly EV'd my Conkeldurr to be faster, which means they can set up rocks after I defog. So now I'm at 12%, I'm burned, this thing's pretty much at full HP, and I can't really keep them from getting rocks back up. This thing's too low to reliably defog on anything now. I've pretty much thrown the game away turn 3 here. I can Facade for a lot of damage, they opt to get rocks back up. If I defog here, I think it's a very sensible play for them to just click Stealth Rocks again, so I figured I'll just kill them. Knockoff will kill in case they switch, it's better into everything pretty much. So I pretty much trade Conk for Rhyperior, but they got rocks up, which is terrible for me. It means Kiram might be dying to play rough from Ogrepon, might be dying to like a Spec Shadow Ball from Gengar. Bad for Moth too, putting it in range of like 2 Thunderclaps or something like that. Very bad that rocks are up. I figure I want to get my rocks up, I'll go into Screamtail. In hindsight, not a very good play, um, because I think Gengar is fairly likely to come in here. The biggest thing with Gengar is it struggles to get in, and this is a free turn to get it in. With that being said, I don't really know what else I would have gone into. Gengar can outspeed and kill a lot of my team. I'm assuming it's Scarf because I don't think they really have any other reliable Scarfer. So Gengar does come in. I live a hit from this. I can get up rocks, I can click Psychic and not really kill them. And I don't need damage on this. Everything on my team kills this in one hit, except for Fiery Dance. I think it does like 90%. So I don't really need damage on this, so I opt to just get up rocks. I also don't have a switch in to Shadow Ball or Sludge Wave. I could go Roaring Moon, but if they're Scarf, they'll 2-hit KO me with Sludge Wave. So I just stay in and kind of sack Streamtail to get rocks up. Also, kind of unfortunate. We're in a pretty bad spot. But with that being said, Rhyperior is dead, and I have an Iron Moth. So if this is an offensive Raging Bolt and I can kill it with +1 Sludge Wave, we're looking pretty good. I go Kiram. Kiram will live a Sludge Wave from this thing. I know it's Choice Scarf because it outsped me here on turn 6. Alternatively, I could have gone Roaring Moon, taken the Sludge Wave, and clicked Knockoff. But I thought that would just let in Wheezing, and I don't really want to set up with Iron Moth yet. I want to try and get Chip on the Mew and Raging Bolt. So I go Kiram. They hit me with a big Sludge Wave and I Ice Beam. This thing still lives rocks, but it's slower than 3 Pokemon. Well, actually only 2, but I opt to just sack this. I didn't really have an alternative play. Maybe I could have gone Hard Typhlosion. I would live any one hit, I outspeed and Shadow Ball. And they can't click Trailblaze there because they wouldn't kill, and I would kill them back. So maybe I could have gone Typhlosion there instead. I bring out Typhlosion now to click Shadow Ball. Nothing will kill me from them. I get a little bit of damage that puts them in range of nothing really. They were already dying to Sludge Wave, they were already dying to Acrobatics, so that's pretty much a useless turn for me. I'm making some pretty bad plays. This thing comes in, and Thunderclap just kills me. I could have switched hard into Roaring Moon there, but if they would just click Dragon Pulse and kill me, that would be very bad. So, down goes Typhlosion. And I bring in Roaring Moon now. kind of going for game here. This is just a guaranteed Wheezing to switch in. In case they stay in, I'll click Earthquake. But no. Wheezing comes in. Are they neutralizing gas? They're not. They levitate. So I just get my chip. Are they Strange Gene and kill me? No. They Sludge Bomb. They do poison. That's fine. Um, Roaring Moon's just going to die here, and I have to try and win the game with Iron Moth. Raging Bolt has taken 2 rounds of rocks. That's good. And Mew will take 1 round. If Mew is offensive, +1 Sludge Wave is comfortably killing. If they're max HP, Sludge Waves are roll. Assuming I get a Fiery Dance boost here. I opt to try and set up a sub though, because this thing should not be able to touch me. Sludge Bomb will not break my sub. I get an agility. I do not want to risk a speed tie on Ogerpon. I think I can um, take the risk of setting up a sub or setting up an agility. They will break my sub here, but I can sub again. They go into Raging Bolt as I sub. I Fiery Dance. Do I get the boost? I do. Fiery Dance should have done about 25% to this thing, which tells me they are Assault Vest, which is terrible, because that means Sledge Wave is not going to kill here. Or maybe it's a roll, I don't know. But they Thunderbolt. Now, are they going to Thunderclap or Thunderbolt? It's a bit of a 50-50. I figure I'll just click Sledge Wave. I think they're going to Thunderclap, predicting my substitute. They don't, I Sledge Wave, but yeah, I don't kill. And they just kill me with Thunderbolt. So, very close. Had I done a little bit more damage to this Raging Bolt, if it took 1 more turn of rocks, I think I would have just won the game. I think their Mew was offensive, so they would have died to Sledge Wave. Ogerpon died to Sledge Wave. Same thing with Wheezing. Very close to cleaning that game up with Iron Moth, but just didn't get quite enough damage on the Raging Bolt. If I would have had Conkeldurr in the back, didn't sack it on like turn 3, would have been in a pretty good spot. But unfortunately, I played pretty bad. My opponent played better. I think the team I brought was good. I think maybe the Screamtail set could have been better. I could have respected Gengar a little bit more. And maybe Defog Flame Orb Conk is questionable. But yeah, sacking that thing to Rhyperior, not good. Definitely should have just stayed in turn 2 and just kept clicking Shadow Ball. So we take our first loss of the season. We're 2-1, I think, with +4 differential, so not bad at all. Still on good track to make playoffs, and I do hope to make playoffs in this league, as well as Mafia. And Mafia is going just as well as this league, so pretty good. Although I haven't played my 3rd week match, so stay tuned for that. I'll be starting a new league in a couple of weeks. Depends when draft finishes. I haven't even made my first pick yet, but you'll be seeing a draft analysis of that probably a week from now. GG's to my opponent. Thank you for watching, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.